it was just lycra. It's just, well, blah. I think that's all you could say to it. It was blah, and it was very uninteresting as well. But I think I was just talking about Prince of Persia: Forgotten Sands. I've only got 2 words for that game, and that's I've actually just completed this just now. It only took me 2 or 3 days to complete it. And just 2 words to sum up this game. Oh dear. Oh yes. Another thing that got me annoyed was the reviewers saying Prince of Persia 2008 had an identity crisis. I know game trailers say this. I think I know a couple of reviewers say this as well. And I'm like, an identity crisis? Are you getting confused here? This was a new Prince of Persia. The 2008 Prince of Persia did not relate to the Sands of Time Prince of Persia. They do not follow a timeline. They do not follow the same universe. That's the point of the Prince of Persia series, is that there's always a different prince. They don't follow a specific storyline. Yeah, the Sands of Time had its own storyline. 2008 had its own storyline as well. Well, I hope they get back to that storyline, because I really want to see what happens next. And Prince of the Forgotten Sands, I'm just thinking, why? When I first saw the trailers for this game, I was so like, really? You're actually basing off the game. You're actually basing the game off to the movie, which the movie was based off from the game. And I found out, it's actually following the Sands of Time timeline. And I thought, oh, okay, why? I think you kind of ended it, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, pretty well. And I know there was a big gap between Sands of Time and Warrior Within. I think there was like an 8-year gap between that, and a lot of continuity was wrong there. Like, where did you got the Amulet of Time and such? But I'll get to that when we get to Warrior Within. But I just never understood why you went back to the Sands of Time storyline. I didn't feel like you needed to go back. And also, once again, the prince looks completely different from Sands of Time and Warrior Within. He doesn't look anything like the fucking prince, the Sands of Time prince. They kind of made this mistake in the CG of the 2 thrones, where the prince didn't look like the prince in in-screen or the prince back in the past. The prince in the in-screen looked like the prince back at Sands of Time and Warrior Within. Of course, he just came off of Warrior Within. And of course, he's got the original voice actor back, even though there's a weird sudden change in voice. Anyway, I should really save these complaints from the Warrior Within. But yeah, the Forgotten Sands, it really explained nothing. I mean, this was a pointless story to be told. So basically, it's a big bad demon guy got a bit fucking pissed off with everything because he wanted to kill King Solomon. Or, the prince's brother is an idiot because I need an army. Let's release Solomon's army, even though it wasn't his army. And I think releasing it was a good idea. I don't know why the prince allowed his brother to open it, especially after Sands of Time. You'd be thinking, hey, hang on, this seems a bit fishy. I should really stop my brother, but no, I'll just help him along. I'll just stand there talking to him while he's doing it. And I really don't know what it's got to do with the Sands of Time. Seriously. All 3 games were connected. It's obvious. The Sands of Time was connected with the dagger, and then Warrior Within was connected to where the Sands of Time was created in the first place, the Island of Time, and then the 2 thrones is where the prince's past came back to bite him back of the arse and saying fucking around with time is a bad idea. You're not thinking ahead, prince. And the Forgotten Sands really tells me nothing. For some reason he didn't his Warrior Within armor, which I find out weird. I'm like, it doesn't explain. I don't really remember it explain how long it's been since the Sands of Time, or the attack, or when they were at Azad. But I just don't understand that. And of course, you know the weird fountain area where you get your health upgraded from Sands of Time. That's not back, but there's an area that's sort of similar to it, and you meet sort of the keeper there, or the protector, or the keep. I think the keeper will be the better name for it. And nothing's really explained what this area is. It's sort of explained, but I don't know if it's got anything to do with Azad whatsoever. Because apparently all she said was she keeps the waters running. I think she was a water god or something like that. She's the water. She keeps the water flowing and keeps a palace from coming a desert or something like that. Yeah, I wasn't really listening because I was so bored of the story. And it wasn't really that interesting. It didn't really keep me interested. And a lot of the time traveling powers, like rewind, feels really shoehorned in. I'm thinking, hang on, okay, she actually gave me the sort of water god. I forgot her name, but I don't really give a damn what her name is now. You know, blah. That's what I was like in the time. I was like, blah, don't care. You know, giving me time traveling power, giving me rewind powers, and it feels really shoehorned in. And some reason you got elemental powers as well, which I kind of think this feels so wrong. Something like this belongs in the Prince of Persia 2008, because I think a lot of its themes had something to do with elementals as well, even though there were a lot of the powers were to activate certain plates, but I felt a lot of powers did belong in the 2008 Prince of Persia. You know, I'm still pissed off with the whole thing, especially with the combat in Forgotten Sands is so stiff. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's stiffer than getting waking up with an erection on a Tuesday morning. Yeah, and some reason the prince's movelet is died down. You know, he's more stiff. He can't bounce off walls and do acrobatic attacks anymore for some odd reason. So he's less acrobatic than the Sands of Time Prince of Persia. And you know, he's wearing his Warrior Within clothes, and the Warrior Within is more acrobatic, because he could run up walls, cut people in half and stuff like that, and I just find this really odd. And I'm still thinking, what's the Forgotten Sands got to do with Sands of Time? It's got nothing. And actually I thought this would be a point where it tells you where he got the Amulet of Time from, but no. It doesn't fucking say anything. It doesn't really... It just doesn't tell you where the Amulet of Time comes from. And actually, I don't know what he did with the... He actually did got an amulet which fits nicely onto his armor. That's probably the only reason he bring back his armor for that. Don't know why. But that's not the Amulet of Time, because one, it's got different powers than the Amulet of Time from Warrior Within. Yeah, he didn't have elemental powers in Warrior